Number 1. Rookie female officer tries to weasel out of DUI arrest. Let's dive into the story of Stephanie Regina, a rookie cop from New Jersey who found herself on the wrong side of the law. It was back in August 2016 when Regina was driving around Flemington and, unfortunately, had a bit too much to drink. Dashcam footage captured her swerving along the road and at one point even hitting a guardrail before she was finally pulled over by Lieutenant Scott Crater. In the video, Regina can be heard slurring her words as she tries to use her badge to get out of trouble.
You want to see my badge? I work in Scotch Plains.
Well, you're drunk. Let's go.
Are you kidding me? Are you?
After Regina is put in the back of the police van, the two officers search her vehicle for her wallet and ID. After rummaging around for a few minutes, Officer Crater comes up to Regina and reads her Miranda rights.
Anything you say will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning. You may stop answering questions at any time. You understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
However, Regina tried to escape the situation. I'm a cop. I work in Scotch Plains. My number is 140. She again tries to remind Crater, hoping that her position would help her avoid any consequences. But the officer wasn't having any of it and responded by saying,
All right, well, then you should know better, right?
Regina didn't give up, though. According to the court documents, she even dropped the name of her former boss a couple of times, retired Scotch Plains Police Chief Brian Mahoney. But none of those tactics worked on the lieutenant.
My headquarters, one adult female, starting mileage 16955.
22 posted.
Ironically enough, Brian Mahoney was also arrested for a DUI just 2 weeks after Regina, but that's a story for another day. Anyways, unfortunately for Regina, her efforts to avoid the consequences of her actions were in vain. The Trentonian newspaper had to sue to make the dashcam video public, and Regina was immediately suspended without pay from the Scotch Plains Police Department, where she had just started working a few months earlier. The charges against Regina were numerous and serious. She was charged with driving while intoxicated, eluding, reckless driving, obstructing the passage of other vehicles, failure to yield to an emergency vehicle, and leaving the scene of a crash. She was even indicted on a third-degree felony for trying to evade an arrest, but the charge got knocked down to a disorderly persons offense later on. She was ordered to pay a fine of $125. While Regina managed to avoid any jail time, but her reputation as a cop was irreparably damaged. In our next story, we'll be seeing a female deputy making TikToks to explicit music despite her superior's clear disapproval. Number 2, female officer makes TikToks while on duty. A 29-year-old Orange County deputy, Shelby Abramson, found herself in hot water after an internal investigation concluded that she had violated the agency's social media policy by posting TikTok videos that showed her dancing to explicit music while dressed in her uniform. As a result, she received a 3-week suspension for unbecoming conduct and insubordination. According to a report, Abramson claimed that the motive behind her TikTok videos was to humanize the badge and show that law enforcement officers are not just bad guys behind a gun. However, Orange County Sheriff's Office had a different opinion.
Social media and law enforcement just needs to be done the right way.
The department's policy forbids employees from engaging in social media activity that could negatively impact the agency's public perception. It also cautions against displaying the department's logos, uniforms, or similar identifying items on personal social media pages. Abramson, who works as a school resource officer, began creating TikTok videos a few months after she was hired by the Sheriff's Office in November 2019. Her account quickly gained over 80,000 followers. However, trouble arose in December 2020 when a fellow school resource officer caught her live streaming a video while in a marked Orange County Sheriff's Office patrol vehicle and wearing a uniform. A supervisor immediately instructed her to stop live streaming on TikTok while on duty. Later on, multiple deputies sent screenshots of Abramson's videos that included comments posted by other TikTok users to their supervisors. One viewer commented on Abramson's video, charging taxpayers money to make TikToks. Abramson allegedly replied, "I'm glad I can entertain you. I'll keep dancing for all you Karens," suggesting the commenter was being rudely aggressive. The comments were later deleted at the request of her supervisor. Abramson's supervisor also counseled her verbally and told her to refrain from posting anything that would shed a negative light on your character and the sheriff's office. She received an email from a sergeant within the department that cautioned her. The email read, "I understand the intent may not be malicious, but perception is reality. Please do not let social media be a distraction while on duty, which could jeopardize your safety and the safety of others. But she ignored all of the warnings. Abramson posted another TikTok video less than 3 weeks later. In the video, she could be seen dancing to explicit music while in uniform. The video was recorded in an office or school, and the specific location was redacted due to containing exempt information about a school resource officer. When interviewed by sheriff's investigators, Abramson admitted to including sexually explicit lyrics in a video. "Now, looking back, I posted it and I shouldn't have because of the lyrics," Abramson told the investigators. She claimed the video was a trend that other TikTok users were following, and she thought the instruction from her superiors only meant that she couldn't live stream videos while on duty. Abramson also told investigators that she had talked about the agency's policies with the lieutenant, but the lieutenant didn't recall having that conversation. Even during the internal investigation, Abramson continued to post videos on TikTok, including one that appeared to have been recorded before her time at the sheriff's office. In it, she is seen lip-syncing the words "locked up, they won't let me out," while standing behind vertical lines resembling jail bars. Another video was recorded at an empty Disney park in front of Epcot's Spaceship Earth attraction with another deputy. Some agency employees found the videos offensive, unacceptable, and embarrassing to the agency, according to the investigative report. The report concluded that while most of Abramson's videos were benign, some of the audio tracks contained foul language and sexually explicit lyrics. As a result, the videos provided an image to the public that placed members of the Orange County Sheriff's Office in disrepute and did not align with the organization's values. Abramson received a 100-hour suspension for unbecoming conduct and a 20-hour suspension for insubordination. Since the internal investigation was completed in mid-April 2021, Abramson has posted at least one new video on TikTok showing her wearing her agency uniform, but the video didn't contain any explicit languages before. It seems Abramson can't get enough of TikTok. Although Abramson's behavior wasn't much of a harm to others, in our next story, we see an officer getting arrested for filing false arrest reports. Number 3, female officer jailed for making false reports. An officer from the Sacramento Police Department had been arrested for filing 2 false police reports. On Thursday, May 6, 2021, the department released a statement saying that 26-year-old officer Alexa Palubicki had been with the force for 3 years and was the subject of a long investigation.
All stems from a months-long investigation into allegations she falsified police reports.
As soon as they received details about her misconduct, the police department immediately placed Palubicki on administrative leave. The investigation started after Palubicki made a traffic stop at a gas station that later spiraled into allegations of misconduct.
This is the product of this massive 100-page internal investigation into this officer. It stems from a stop that she made at this gas station that's now spiraled into allegations of criminal misconduct.
According to a 100-page internal investigation report, Palubicki pulled over a black man and arrested him for carrying a loaded firearm. The report showed that Palubicki initially stopped the man for illegal parking, but later added suspicion of DUI for probable cause after talking with her fiancé, who was also a police officer. According to the report, it was the inconsistencies in the initial SSD jail booking arrest report and the SPD crime report that raised alarm bells. Other officers brought this information to the department's attention in July 2020 when the incident took place. An internal case audit was conducted to identify any pending cases filed that Palubicki had participated in. Cases in which Palubicki's involvement was deemed material and necessary for prosecution were dismissed, the DA said. The audit was a thorough process, which included dozens of interviews, reviewing body cam footage and in-car camera footage, as well as surveillance footage from various cases. Palubicki's cell phone and social media accounts were also investigated. The Sacramento Police Chief Daniel Hahn severely put down the officer's disgraceful actions, saying, "This individual's criminal behavior had no place in the Sacramento Police Department. I am grateful for the other officers in this department who demonstrated strong integrity to come forward with information about this individual." He continued, "The Sacramento Police Department took swift action against this employee by removing peace officer powers and placing the individual on administrative leave." The department stated that once it received information regarding Palubicki's alleged misconduct, it instituted a number of changes to prevent incidents like this from ever happening again. These changes included creating an inspection and standards team that was responsible for conducting reoccurring audits of arrest reports, body-worn camera footage, and crime reports to ensure that arrests were lawful and within policy. Palubicki, who served as a youth leader in the police department's activities league, could face up to 3 years in prison if convicted. Chief Hahn stated, "I couldn't tell you what her motive was. I can just tell you that we believe that's what she did." If you want to support the channel, please subscribe as I upload videos regularly.